announcements before I think we can start the recording. For those of you that are watching the recording, today is the 20th of February, 2020, which is kind of a fun number day. We have lots of fun number days this month. So I have two friends getting married today. I think they picked because of the numbers. So good stuff. All right, I've got a couple of announcements, starting with, many of you have probably noticed that Kylie has been more active in the coaches group. And I know we did a written announcement that she's going to be joining our team to support the coaches more. So she can be more of a point person, take in requests that you guys have, organize them, just a lot. We need another set of hands on deck. So Kylie is on the screen with Caitlin right now. For those of you who don't know Kylie, she'll be coordinating the mastermind calls, organizing, questions that you have. The other thing she's also started logging some of the coaching intelligence. So for example, I just read this morning Amanda's amazing response to someone's question about exercise. I can't remember who asked the original response. I just remember reading Amanda's long, amazing response. So Kylie's going to start organizing that so it doesn't get lost in just get lost in the intelligence. Plus, she'll be around to support you more. So Kylie, do you want to say hello and welcome? We're really glad to have you.
Yeah, sure. So good morning, everyone. It is early here for me. I am kind of jealous of the extra 2 hours you got. I am super excited to be working with you guys more and to just have that collection for us and have that space of everything that we do and we need for our coaching practice. So I am looking forward to touching base with you guys more, and you'll hear a lot from me. I won't be quiet.
I suppose, Kylie, I probably should have said you are a Wild Fit coach. That's how she ended up in our community. And she's been coaching clients for the last year or so. She's had a thriving practice, and she is in Calgary, which is nice as well. So hint, hint, one of the things that means is if Kylie actually, if you need something on a response from someone, you can go to Kylie, and Kylie can walk in front of somebody's face and say, hey, that needs to get done. And she'll be the point person for that. So we're super happy to have you, Kylie.
Thank you.
Good, good. All right, that is exciting announcement number one. The updates, we've got a Living Wild Fit webinar was yesterday in the afternoon. And Angie, what was the topic for that? It's not in my notes, and I was on an airplane yesterday.
It was a cooking class with Ariel, and she did a vegan bolognese sauce, and it looked really, really delicious. So check out the recording. I think it's going to be in the Facebook group and the Living Wild Fit membership site.
Good, good. And the check-in call for the Living Wild Fit members is February 26th. So anyone who's in Living Wild Fit can check in, and if they want to do some extra coaching, that's what that call is for. We also have a back to spring running right now for members, and there's about 200 people participating in that, so that's kind of fun for them. So the next 14-day reset is starting in March. I know there's some of you in there coaching that. And then March 16th is the date on that. And Wild Fest is May 6th through 10th. So if some of you are thinking about coming, I know I approved the schedule yesterday, and it'll be out to you hopefully today. I looked at, in fact, it may have already gone out because I approved everything yesterday. So some of you are on the fence, not sure if you want to come to Wild Fest or not. I know there were some schedule questions about very specifically, like when does it start and when does it end for flights. That's all been approved and will be sent out by the end of the week. All right, let's talk a little bit. I'm going to show you guys a page. I've got an update to the coaching membership layout, and I'm guessing this is going to have a lot of questions afterwards. So I'm going to walk you through it, and then I'm going to answer questions accordingly. So after our call today, this page will be made live for all of you to see it. It walks through the new licensing structure, and we simplified every place that we could so that it wasn't so confusing for everybody. And so here's how the packages are laid out and the active versus inactive status. Just as we said before, for anyone who is a very, very early coach, you'll always have access to the Facebook group, and you'll have access to the licenses that you had when you purchased your coaching certification. So we're not removing anything that some of the very early adopters took on. This is more for from here going forward. So I'm going to open my chat and go through this as slow as I can. Oh, you can't see it. So you can't see it. Can anyone else see it? Is my screen being shared?
I can see it, Andrea.
Okay. I'm getting some thumbs up. Teresa, sometimes at the top you have to hit the back to meeting button and then it'll take you to where the screen is sharing. Can you see me? I can't. There we go. All right. So the 3 basic packages are basic. When someone's a coach, they're always a coach. And if they want to put a client through the platform, it's $149 US to do so. You might remember this started at $300 and then went down to $100 periodically. And then if you just want to put one person at a time through the platform, it'll be $149. Many of you still have licenses from when you started. So I don't think that's going to be used a lot. It was just in those cases, we get the odd new person who comes through and wants to be a coach and they want the information and they don't plan on coaching a lot. And that's what that is for. The second level is mild, which will be $30 a month. It'll give you access to the 90-day program, all the coaching marketing materials, the Facebook group, the monthly mastermind calls, the Living Wild Fit membership, and you'll be listed after you're a certified coach, you'll be listed on the coaches directory page at getwildfit.com. And the big difference here is that your affiliate commission will be 40% instead of only 20% at basic. I know there are some people who are using the affiliate model as a way to send people through WildFit. Then the third one is Prime, which is $200 US per month. And what the difference is here is access to all the bonus training programs. So if Eric does any other bonus digital training programs, you'll have access to those. You can put an unlimited number of clients through the 14-day reset per month. There's obviously, if that's the beginning of the funnel, and we're going to talk about funnels in a little after this, but if that's the beginning of your funnel, you can put as many people as you want into the 14-day reset. There won't be a limit on that. And then up to 36 active clients per month. Yeah, I'll answer your question in a second, Phoebe. Sorry, that's why I paused. I'll answer it in a second. You can have up to 36 clients at a time or per month in the platform. And so that means that doesn't include 14-day reset people. It's only people who have upgraded to the 90-day program. Below here, you can pick which membership option you'd like to have, mild or prime, and then you just add to your cart and get started. And once you get started with the membership, it's a 3-month recurring payment plan for a minimum because the program runs for 3 months, like the 90-day program runs for 3 months. So it's 3 months, it's a 3-month program. The commission rates are down here. This is probably the biggest difference is that if you want to do the commission on affiliates, but you don't want to, on an affiliate model, but you don't want to coach any clients, then you would do the mild. If you want to do affiliates and you want to coach clients, then you would do the prime. And inactive is just so that it's there for anybody who, for whatever reason, doesn't want to really be coaching at all, and they just periodically want to put people through the platform. We only have a couple of people that do that, but there's the odd person who does that, and many of them have licenses left over from before, so that's what they're using. All right, so what else? And then down at the bottom of the page, there's a whole lot of frequently asked questions. Oh, let me address this also. We have been generating leads at head office, and we're actually moving into doing a lot more of that. And so if you want to be part of the rotation with leads from head office, this isn't anything to do with Mind Valley, it's just what we do through getwildfit.com, then you've got to be in an active membership, either mild or prime. And obviously you have to be a certified coach in order for that to happen. And then all leads need to be followed up within 24 business hours of getting the leads so that the clients are served. Everybody's been doing that. It's been fantastic. And you have to be completely certified in order to get leads through what we're generating. Below here, you'll find all the frequently asked questions and answers to them. As we get more questions, this is just what we could think about. I'm guessing you guys are going to have a lot more. We'll add and clarify down here anything that's not clear. All right, so let me answer Vivi's first question, and Angie and I are going to work through this together because Angie's been so helpful in making sure all of this gets set up. So people who have free licenses can use the 14-day reset. Can you explain how to use the 14-day reset? So that's 2 questions. The first one, Angie, what was the answer on the people who have 14-day resets who have free licenses can use the reset? will default you in the back system to active status. Am I right on that, Angie? Yeah. So if you joined at a time where you were given free licenses, or not free, but they were included in your packaging, then we'll default set you in the back end to have active status, so you can use the 14-day reset to generate leads. And then what will happen is everybody, as your people upgrade to the 90-day challenge, the licenses will get deducted, and at some point you'll have to join membership once you've utilized all of your licenses that were included in your initial package. Does that make sense?
So
any more questions on that one?
can I, hi. So
Yeah,
basically, if I get to use the 14 days reset, it's gonna take a license only if they join for the whole 3 months.
Correct. Yeah, the 14-day reset will not by itself, it won't take a license.
Okay. So I can sell 14 days reset.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Are there any other questions about that? I don't see any hands raised or any popped in there. I'll wait a second just in case someone's typing one. Okay, looks good. So then let me answer the second question, which is really related to funnels and pricing, because I think there's been a fair bit of confusion about funnels and pricing and how does that work and online. So there's two aspects of it. Well, there's multiple, but let's start with the first aspect is when we say you can discount the program. John, I'll answer your question in a second. Let me actually answer that one first, and then I'll go into what else I was going to say. What happens to the licenses which are not consumed within a month for the Prime level? So the way that it's going to work is that you'll have 36 people per month in the platform, but they will not accumulate over and above that. If you want more than 36 people at a time in the platform, it will be just an additional one-time charge of $30 to put more people than 36 at a time into the platform. And so the licenses will not accumulate. Like at any given time, you can have 36 people in there for the $200. And if you want more than that, then it's an additional 30. But they're not going to accumulate. Anyone who has accumulated ones in their account from before will still honor that, and they'll still stay in there until you use them all. Did that make sense? So think of it like this might be a better model, like a better thinking, or like a way to think about it. Think about it if you're using an email send service like MailChimp and you're paying them $10 a month, and they say, or $100 a month, and they say you can have 1,000 email addresses in there per month. If one month you have 1,000 and then the next month you have 800 because for some reason a bunch of people go off your list, and then the next month you have 1,000, you're still paying the same price per month, regardless of how, like up to 1,000. If you go over 1,000 emails in there, then they would increase your rate per month. So we're moving to that more software as a service model instead of there being individual licenses, or instead of them accumulating. Numi, I see you have a question, go for it. And I see that John has one.
Yeah, it is also concerning these licenses. So minimum 3 months, which is over 100 licenses actually, and it's because a class runs for 3 months. But if we don't sign new classes each month, we have like at least 72 licenses that will disappear, right?
So that would, yes, that like, no. So what is actually happening is you can have 36 people at a time in the program. So when you put someone into the 90-day challenge, they are in there for 3 months. So it's not that you're getting, so they will count as one of your 36 in month 1, and then again in month 2, and then again in month 3. And then they're out of the 90 days, so they stop counting. And so then you could, so it's 36 people at a time that can be in the platform. So if you start in 1 month, 12 people, and then in the second month, you have 12 people in the platform. Then you have, in the second month, you start another 12. Now you have 24 people in the platform. And then in month 3, you don't start a class, you still have 24 people in the platform. And then in month 4, it will drop down to 12 because the first 12 are done their 90 days.
Okay, so that means that we pay like 600 for 36 people.
For 36. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I
So it
understood
works out
when you talked about this
No, it-
earlier. I understood that we could sign up new people every month because we get like 36 licenses per month.
So it works out to, if you do 36 people per 3 months, it would be, and this, everybody will be a little bit different, but it works out to about $16 per person to put them in the full 90 days. And then if you go over the 36 per month, it's another $30, which would cover all 3 months of their time.
But it isn't per month, because then it will be 36 per 3 months.
Yeah, it's 36 at a time.
Yeah.
So it's 36 at any given time in the platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's actually, the numbers on it work out to better for you guys than paying for individual or having, and then it's simplified, like it simplified the whole thing. Go ahead, Ricardo, you have a question.
Hi, thank you. I still have free license. So when
Yeah.
should I purchase the Prime? When should I start?
Once you're through however many are in your account, then you want to start purchasing the Prime. So I don't know how many are in your account off the top of my head, but they've got it in a database. And so once you're through all of what's in your account, then you would need to purchase the Prime.
Clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can use up any that were in your original packages, because there's, every time we did a group of coaches, there was a slightly different offer. So there's a number of you who have different agreements based on when you started. And so we'll honor all of those agreements based on when you started. And then from here forward, we've made it much more simple. Any other questions? Let me see if I didn't. And then, yeah, go for it.
Hi. So regarding the Prime membership, I have the 36 licenses a month. If I start a class in the first month with 20 people, and I still have 16 licenses free, so included, right? What happens to those licenses in the future? They are considered, they are going away, or after paying 3 months, I have 100 plus licenses and I can use them until I finish them.
Okay, so this, what's going to happen is in the first month, you put 20 people in, then technically the others would just disappear. And then those 20 people will stick in for 3 months, right? But if in the second month you add another 12, then you have 32 people in that month. And then in the next month, you add another 6. Hang on, I'm gonna watch my math here. So now you have 32 people in month 2. Yeah, in month 3, you add another 6, you're at 38. And so you'd pay $30 just for those extra 2, and that's it. And then if it's over, yeah, and then in the 4th month, the first 20 drop off. So it allows you to have 36 people in the class at any given time for about $16 each. And if you have more than that, then it's more than, but keep in mind what you're actually getting is also then the 14-day reset. For those of you who, once you're through any of the old model licenses, you can put as many as you want in the 14-day reset. You have all the other access to support. You know, your customers have access to customer support. So that's really what all of that is, what you're paying. It's not just the licenses, that's just one component of the entire platform for coaches. And for a lot of people, like when we went through all of this, I looked back and I thought, you know, like 36 in a class is quite a lot for one coach to handle. So
I agree with that.
You know, not lots of people do more than 36.
Given at least the level of service I want to offer my clients. So I'm not going for the mass, I'm going for the one-on-one as much as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there is also an option if we pay yearly. So for the whole, if we buy a an option for one payment for the whole year, we have some advantages there. I saw it.
From some discounts. Yeah, Angie, did we decide not to do discounts on an annual payment? If that's something you guys request and you want, we can make a change to it. Go ahead,
That would
Angie.
be nice
There's
for me
no-
at least.
Right now, there's no annual membership, but if that's something that people would like, we could implement that. It's just we wanted to keep it as simple as possible because the last model we had, there were way too many options. I think it was confusing for everyone, so we wanted to simplify it, and then we can always alter, tweak, optimize from there. So any feedback, just let us know.
Okay, the last time I checked, I saw the option online and I saw, great. Actually, I can buy 36 licenses per month with a cheaper price. So I would take it.
We don't, okay, we don't mind doing that at a cheaper price for the annual option. We just wanted to simplify it and get us thinking in the new way of looking at this, which is more simple. But trust me, I understand why it's a big change, so it's a little bit confusing, and that's why we wanted to simplify it to start until everybody gets on board with this, and then we can absolutely add an annual option. You'll notice we took all the 97 cents off the end of everything too, like it was just $30, $200. Like no kitschy marketing, no, you know, all that stuff with how you price things. Like, how can we make it as simple and weightless and free as possible so that it's just really simple?
Yeah, actually, I appreciate that. I feel myself not being a customer for you anymore, like more of part of the team, seeing clear prices, because 199.78 would be clearly a marketing strategy. This is for me already, that is so clear, but thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. I'll tell you, in behind the scenes, every time I price any product for the last 10 years, when people sit there and they said they were going to do $97, there's a piece of me that just like crosses my arms and thinks, it's $100. Can you just put $100 there? You know, oldest marketing pricing structure ever. Go ahead, Tiffany, if you have a question, or Michelle, you have a question.
Yeah, so in terms of the leads, I would like to know more about how that works and if it's automated or if there's humans in HQ deciding who's getting the leads.
So we are doing, it's not completely automated. There's not enough of a, no, it's not completely automated. So it's going down by, we're doing it somewhat by manual. It's not like it's random going, oh, hey, we're going to have this person do this. It's just a matter of, we've got a spreadsheet and we go down and pair, if the person requests gender, which I don't, do we have that anymore, Angie? That was a thing for a while. We still have it, right? So if the person requests a particular gender, we go with that. And then we go with time zone proximity, and we stick people with coaches based on who's certified. Sometimes people have other requests. We haven't had them a whole lot of other kinds of requests. So there you go. Julie, I see your question about something in between mild and prime for those of us running smaller classes. Maybe you can explain that to me a little bit more. How much smaller of a class, I guess, is my question. Like, are you thinking less than 8 people?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe, yeah, between 5 and 10, I guess.
So the reason that we left it the way that it was with just the mild and the prime was, one, to reduce confusion as much as possible and keep it as simple as possible. And then the other is, even if you're only doing a class of 5 or 10, our logic was you would still want access to the 14-day reset and all of the additional training and all of the additional benefits that we end up putting towards people who are not the access to the bonus training, and the 14-day reset is the big difference. So that's why we did it at that rate and only the 2. Because it's not just the people in the full challenge, it's also that you have access to the 14-day reset in an unlimited fashion.
So I guess at least if I have 8, then it would be worth getting the prime. because
It's still,
yeah,
if you have
but,
6, even if you only have 6, it's still the same price at the $100 per person per challenge. So that was our thinking. Like if you have 6 in a 3-month period, you still have the same as what it was before, and anyone with more than that, it's even better. So that's why we made it just 2 options.
got it.
And to keep it
Got it.
simple. Yeah.
Okay. I understand now.
Okay. John, go ahead. Oh, except you have to come off mute. There you go.
What about the back to spring training? Starting with which feature, or what about it? Do we get the chance to coach that?
To coach it or to run one yourself?
What's the difference? So to
Yeah,
offer
so
my
we
clients the back to spring, the one that did the challenge and now they need coaching to get back on track.
Yeah, you can do that whenever you want. We gave you the manual. It's in the dashboard. No, it's not, Angie. Which one went in the dashboard?
The corporate packages went into the back office. Right now, Vanel is doing the finishing touches on the graphics of it. And so that'll hopefully be in there by the end of next week. And we're just giving that to everyone that you can run with any of your clients. It doesn't matter which level you're on. So everyone's going to get the manual for back to spring by the end of next week.
Cool. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and right now there's no additional video support for back to spring. So you can run it with your clients just using the manual and understanding the ins and outs of it.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about that? And then I'm going to move into explaining the 14-day. Okay. I don't see any questions. Sorry. I don't know if anyone's been watching my Instagram. I've been trying to learn patience. It's not something I'm good at. I was teaching my son to drive. I got to tell you, of all the parenting things I've done, teaching a 15-year-old boy how to drive is probably up with the most stressful things ever. And he's good at it. Like, he's not irresponsible. He's probably the most responsible 15-year-old anyone could ask for. And it still is just nerve-wracking to me. Like, we're in this little bullet that could get hit by something and you're in charge. It's awfully scary.
Are you driving a stick or an automatic?
Automatic. We don't have sticks very much in North America. I love stick shifts personally, but we don't have them. Anyway, he said I kind of freaked out on him because I wasn't giving him good sequential instructions on how to park. And I ran in to grab our sushi and I came back out and I said to him, okay, I'm going to learn how to give better sequential instructions. I promise. So I explained to him how to park and how not to hit the car beside him. And then we got back on the road and I said, do you know what I'm going to learn while you learn to drive? And without skipping a beat, he said, patience. I was like, no, not patience. I'm going to learn to give better step-by-step instructions is what I'm going to learn.
How would you feel if your son would have told you, Mom, you got it? You
got it. I go, well, of course, they're not going to. They tell me that in other parents' things, but this driving thing, this lessons to real instructors start next month.
I have a saying, only that, and then we'll move on. You will only learn to swear real good when you drive yourself in traffic.
That's true.
And
Michelle
especially in Eastern Europe, I come from Romania, and there is the traffic at a different level. As Eric was telling us about road rage in England, I recently moved to England. Sorry, I trusted Eric, but that's a joke compared with Romania.
Oh, really?
And I think Vivi can confirm that. So
you know what? Driving in where I live in Calgary is really probably one of the safest places in the world. We have big wide roads. There's not that many people. You know, they don't drive that fast. They're all Canadian. They're nice. It's probably about as close as safe as driving ever is. So Michelle asked, will there be additional training for back to spring? Maybe we can actually run one of these masterminds on back to spring. That's a great idea. And I'll ask Amanda or Ariel if they'll coach, if they'll do a training for you guys on back to spring. And yeah, Michelle, the millennial theft device is a stick shift. I'm thinking about buying a stick shift just so they can learn to drive one. Like, I'll just buy a little crappy one and then sell it in a couple years for what I pay for it, so the kids can learn to drive one. Because I think it's a mandatory You must know how to drive a stick shift, and you should know how to parallel park like a badass. Because if you can do those two things, you're pretty safe as a driver. So, all right, let's go to the 14-day reset and how it works and why you would want to use it. So, and this kind of, and change a tire, I agree, Pamela, you should know how to do all those things. I even can change oil if I have to, but it's been a long time since I've had to change oil. Okay, let's talk about the 14-day reset and funnels and how that works and why they're of benefit. I am really excited about the 14-day reset being a tool for you all as coaches. It's been a year that we've been testing and tweaking and trying to figure out, like, is it a good idea or a bad idea? And will it work? And after a year, I confidently will say that it's, I believe, the best way to get people into the Wild Fit 90 Challenge for you all as coaches is a start with a 14-day reset. So the idea is that people do the first 2 weeks of the program only, and that it's positioned as a reset with your food relationship. Now, we have the marketing copy that we've used. I plan on trying and testing different angles of approach and like working that copy out more, but you guys are welcome to use everything we have up until now to talk about it. And I think there's more angles you could do than what we currently have. Like, ours is just the base. And we've only sold it for $27. We've not tested the price on it. It's probably worth a price test. Like, it could maybe be $49. I know somebody talked about it maybe be $99. Anything that we've done, we've only tested it at $27. And the reason for that is there was a lot of other moving parts we had to figure out first. And so I didn't want to tweak with the pricing to see if the upfront pricing didn't seem like that was the most important thing to test up until now. So you guys can sell it for whatever you want. You can sell it for like $25, $50, $99, whatever you think makes sense to you, you can do this for. I think anything under $100 is an option to get clients into the into Wild Fit in a way that is approachable and it's not a price barrier. And what we found, and most of you probably already know this, but that first 2 weeks is so fundamentally, like, so many breakthroughs happen in that first 2 weeks that people are very encouraged to want to stay on for the full 90 days because they don't see all the benefits in the first 2 weeks. What they see in the first 2 weeks is that it is going to work. They have hope for the first time. They've had some sort of personal breakthrough. They've maybe realized, like, a food rule that they have that they didn't even know was a rule. They didn't even know about food rules. They've started to hydrate a whole lot more and they're feeling better, and then they put some Alka-Geyser in them. And so anything in that first 2 weeks, the breakthroughs are so remarkable that a good number of people decide to continue and go forward. I know there are some coaches who are seeing a 50% upgrade from the 14-day to the full 90-day. I know that when we've run them, our number is much closer to 18%, 1/8. But that will be based on how you serve them and the relationship you have with them. And I think our numbers, the 1/8% is as low. It's lower because we're not that same one-on-one interaction with that you all will have as coaches. So here's what, oh, hang on. Sorry, I have something in my throat. Just one second. Okay, so the 14-day, you could sell it for whatever you want. When you put people through, the way that it works is in the back office. I bet everybody doesn't know how to do this, and I'm not sure if does everybody know how to put people into the 14-day in the back office? Okay, Angie, while I'm talking for a second, can you pull up on your screen? Is Angie still here? Yeah, you're there. Can you pull up on your screen how to put people into the back office? Because I don't have it open. But what's happening in the background is when you put people into the 14-day reset, they're actually going into a completely separate track in the database, and you will need to go in and upgrade them into the full 90 days because we don't do that automatically, and there's no sales material in your funnels that would upgrade them to the 90-day. Now, I'm open, if you guys want us to add that in there, we could, but we don't currently have it in there because we wanted to leave it up to you guys as coaches to upgrade them to the full 90-day. So what happens is they go in and they get the first full 2 weeks, and they get the emails and the videos, and then at day 14, they don't get any more communication from us or into the 90-day unless you upgrade them up to the 90-day. And there's no sales materials from 14-day to 90-day in your funnel. Now, what we can do is we can give you the copy and the words that we've used to upgrade them just in emails and when we run the upgrades. We also can tell you how we've upgraded up until this point. I think as a team, we could do it way better. Like, I think there's a lot of opportunity. You guys can be creative and use your own personality and your own way of upgrading people. But as a starting point, we can absolutely share what has worked for us. And the other thing I want to share is that one of the really interesting things we've seen is that we track when people come into anything WildFit and how long it takes them to want to do the 14-day. And then from the 14-day, when they'll upgrade to the 90-day, it's not immediate, just so you know. Like, there's nothing that seems to be boom, 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 immediate. A lot of times they'll do the 14-day and then we'll see nothing for like 3 weeks, and then they'll decide to keep going. So this presents a bit of an issue, or a bit of a like opportunity with, do you want to do, if you're running a live class and then 3 weeks later they decide to get going, how do you, as in your business, handle that? What you, like, pardon me, let me say this differently. If they wait 3 weeks and then they decide they want to upgrade to the 90-day, like the full program, you then have a bit of a opportunity within your business. Do you want to put them back to week 1, or do you just want to start them in week 3? So there's a little bit of how to figure that out there. Angie, right now, they can select, right, in the automated funnel, they can select to go back to week 1, or they can start at week 3 if they're later making a decision to join. Because what happens is a lot of people will just upgrade right away to the 90-day, but the ones who don't, they may think about it later. So here's what Angie's showing you. This is how you put them into the 14-day and then upgrade them to the 90-day. So if originally you want to put people into the 14-day, you come into the enter a client, and you can explain, Angie, because it's your computer. I'll be quiet.
Okay, and I did also record 2 Loom videos explaining how to add someone to the 14-day reset and how to set up this affiliate tracking as well. I can drop those into the group. Caitlin and Kylie, I'll make sure you guys get those and we can drop those into the group. I'll go over it kind of quickly right now, but then you can watch the videos on slower speed if you want to get a little bit more in detailed how to sign someone up for the 14-day reset. So it's basically the same as signing someone up for the challenge. The only big difference is making sure this toggle at the top is facing the WF 14-day reset. So that's the huge difference in how your clients get added, is on this page. So it's all the same here, your coach email. This is for if you don't want to use the email you signed up with. If you want all of the details to go to a different email address, you can put it in here. Here, your affiliate link. This is super important for down the road if we are going to promote to your clients, which we are not right now. But if they do purchase something, they will be tracked back to you by adding your affiliate link. Super important note here is do not add the getwildfit.com part of your affiliate link, only the ending. That is just how our affiliate tracking system is set up. So if you put that in here, I'm just going to do a quick example. So it'll look just like this without getwildfit.com. Then you're going to go down under class type. I'm not sure if you can see this here, but the only option is 14-day reset. And then it's the same as setting up a regular challenge. You're selecting a Monday, and you're also selecting the welcome and login details. Here it's confirming if your client is starting on time. So that means if they're starting on Monday or prior. If they're starting on Tuesday or Wednesday, you must select no. So it's the same as the regular challenge. We just want to confirm the email is being sent out on the correct date. And then if it's on day 2, which is Tuesday, or day 3, which is Wednesday. The reason we have this is so that all of the onboarding emails get sent to your client at once and not spread out day by day. So if someone's being added late, we're just going to clump all the emails together so they get up to speed as fast as possible. So same here, add client clients, just like the 90-day challenge, you're going to get a pop-up with name and email. We want to confirm the email so they're getting the information to the correct email. So this is how you're going to set someone up for the 14-day reset. Once they're ready to they've paid you their upgrade fee, you're going to go back into this page. You're going to go to the WF90 and you're going to fill out the same information again. So this is going to add them to either the WF90 challenge. So this is if they want to start again from week 1. If they want to upgrade to week 3, you're going to select WF90 day upgrade to week 3. So you're just filling out this. It's the same form twice. The only difference is your class type. Does anyone have any questions? I know that was super fast, but I can put in those Loom tutorial videos after if you want to take some more time with it.
One thing, Angie, is make sure you're using the same email address for the client both times, because their unique identifier is the email address. And then the affiliate link part is really important that you do that, so we have tracking of that person connected to you as the lead source. Yeah. And
any questions?
Now, when your clients when you go in and add them in the 90-day, that's when they start counting as one in the platform. Before that, when they're in the 14-day, you can have unlimited people in there. Yep. What questions do you have? Anybody? Okay. I think, oh, Michelle has one.
Sorry, this is more on the leads process and all of that. Are you currently doing a leads process, or is that a new process?
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Do you mean for leads coming to you all as coaches?
Yeah. Is that new?
So we've tested a couple things, and we are starting something new pretty quickly here. So yes, we are still currently, if anyone comes into our help desk, they get referred to a coach. And then we've currently not on the pages, is there anywhere you can buy it with a coach? So we don't have that on the pages, but we did have that upgrade in the funnel for a while. Once somebody purchased video only, they could upgrade to with a coach, and that's where the leads are coming. That's where the leads are coming from.
And so in the future, that's where the leads will come from as well, as they'll have already done this
I have some other irons in the fire for leads that are actually more on a class basis, where we are sourcing lead places where it'll be more on a whole class, not just 1 or 2 people. Mm-hmm. So, and we're not ready to roll that out yet, though. I'm still putting the details around it.
All right. I just was curious, like in terms of a business model, what is it costing for WildFit to acquire a customer, and how does that, I guess, how can we compare that in terms of our own process of finding leads, and then with the limitations that are placed on it around having satisfaction surveys and stars and consistent client.
I'm not clear what question you're asking.
So there's in the information about leads that you have on your coaching membership page, there's some stipulations around having minimum numbers of clients in order to get leads. So that in and of itself is benefiting existing coaches over new coaches, and then having 4 stars or above also is benefiting existing coaches over new coaches. So there's that piece of it that I have a question about. And then in terms of how much does it cost for WildFit to acquire a client, is that cost worth WildFit generating the leads versus we generating our own leads? it's a question. It's a business question.
Well, you're better off to, like, if you're asking a business question for you, you're better off to generate your own leads. You'll make more money. You'll be in a better spot if you have to generate leads. I mean, that is a huge, well,
but then
if you really just want to coach, then
we're competing against WildFit though. If WildFit is paying to generate leads, and we're, you know, doing our marketing to generate leads, then it becomes a competition in terms of cost per lead, because that's one of the factors that you have to pay for.
I think in the world of inbound and in the world of content marketing, those become, that part of competition isn't really competition, because people end up being attracted to the person who's putting out the content far more than anything else. And so I think
that's not true, because I can do brand awareness all day long, but if all they remember is WildFit and they do a search on WildFit and then they go and they see Ryan's ad at the top or WildFit at the top, they're going to click that before they remember how to get back to me. Because most people generally will do that. I see that with my YouTube ads. People will type in the URL on the video rather than click the video, because they
which
think
is where that top of the
go.
funnel, your top of the funnel marketing is really far more about you and your practice than it should be about WildFit. All of your top of the funnel, if you're building a list that's independent of WildFit, then you're building a list that is about your brand, not about WildFit. I think that's where there's a disconnect in how there's been explanation happening. Is the top of the funnel for you guys as coaches should be about your own coaching. I know Kylie's been effective at this. Is part of why Kylie's working at headquarters, is that she was one of the effective coaches at building her own business, and she's still coaching WildFit independent of her helping us out by creating relationships based on her own brand. It had nothing to do with WildFit. She mentions WildFit like once in a while, but people are converting into working with Kylie, and then she's saying, oh, and by the way, I'm using WildFit as my method of getting these results with people. I think that's where there may be a confusion around when it works, that's what's happening. And we can dig into training that more if there's showing you how that's done. That's why we've brought Kylie on, is to give us a hand in showing how that's been done and how she's done it effectively by building her own brand and having her own communication with people that doesn't mention WildFit until they're already all bought in on working with Kylie, at which point she says, and we're going to use WildFit as the way of getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just, the whole lead process doesn't make a whole lot of sense then, because if we're creating our own brands and WildFit is just this thing that we pop in when they're establishing a relationship with us, then there's not really a strength there in just having people come in through the WildFit site and then we get leads somehow through WildFit. Like there's a total disconnect there as well.
I think that both are important though, because what we're doing to build the brand overall is different than what you're doing on a one-on-one basis. So you all know we've been working with Jeffrey Perlman from Zumba, and what they did for years and how they built the brand of Zumba is that Zumba did all of the big brand awareness marketing, right? Like the TV shows and working with Xbox and having, like I'm just right off Times Square right now. So when Zumba was a thing, they were all over Times Square. They did all that brand awareness marketing. Then what the purpose of that was to drive people into classes. But on a one-on-one practical Zumba instructor level, people will go to different people's classes because they fit with their schedule or they like that teacher or whatever that looks like. And so it's a very similar model. Yeah, we'll do brand awareness stuff that's for WildFit, but you as a coach on an individual level are building your own community and your own awareness. And that's what Kylie has done very effectively, is been able to build her own brand. And she's a health coach and she uses WildFit as her tool. And she doesn't tell people that necessarily straight up front. She'll just say, hey, I'm starting a class on Monday. And once they get going, they get into WildFit. That's why she's not having the problem that you're presenting, which I understand what you're saying is a problem if all of your upfront only is WildFit.
But the thing is that WildFit's not doing brand awareness. Mind Valley is. So people are going to Mind Valley and not really, there isn't really an awareness, you know, around
we're in the
coaching.
very early,
So
there is an awareness around coaching, and we're in the very early stages of this. You know, this is something that comes up, we're in the early stages. What you'll see come out in the years to come and in the months to come is bigger than that.
okay.
Sounds good. Yes, Mimi, I will answer your question. Before I close, can I address how to forward leads for one-to-one coaching, and you'll listen to the replay? You bet. Thank you, Mimi. See you later. The one-on-one coaching is based on, I'll answer that quickly. So for anyone who's opted in and wants to do one-on-one coaching, then you're in a rotation, and we're organizing it first by gender and then by time zone, and people are being sent one-on-one clients in that order. So, and that's just based on what the clients want. Do they want gender or time zone? In the future, it would be nice if we could also organize by like specialties and qualifications, but we're not doing that right now. It's just gender, time zone, and then the clients are being referred to you individually as coaching. And yes, Teresa, I would love Kylie to do a session for us also. She's just getting onboarded, and then we're going to be diving into that going forward. Yeah, that's why she's here to help us. She only just started, not even like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Although Kylie, it feels like you've been in our office forever. So, good. All right. Does anyone have any other questions that I can address? Go for it. You both chat up at the same time. So Sharon, you go first, and then John.
I have a question regarding WildFest.
Yes, go for it.
I know there was an email that sent out earlier, a few months ago, maybe, to all the coaches, giving them firsthand with special pricing.
Yes.
But I kind of lost mine. And I sent a message to the team, but I never heard back anything or saw any email regarding.
You know what? I was just in, like, earlier this week, someone was in my office saying, some of the coaches I think probably still wanted to use that original pricing, and then they don't have it. We can honor it for you. I think you might need a special discount code for that. Angie, I know that someone's going to give me heck for saying this. We can honor the original pricing for you if you want. I just don't know exactly how it'll work. I have to ask somebody. Caitlin, can you talk to EK about that and see if you can figure it out? It'll probably
I'm sitting
be a
across from
code.
him, so I can ask him and hopefully have it by the end of this call.
Okay, it's probably a coupon code that'll have to go out to all the coaches, and we can drop it in the coaches group, and it'll take the price down on that page. I am not allowed to help with the technology anymore.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Sounds good. It'd be good to see you there.
I know.
It's finally getting close. Okay, John, you have a question. Go for it.
Okay, so this is regarding the Mind Valley WildFit product and the coach product. Do you think it would make sense to establish some boundaries or some strategy how to work together with them, or to know our place, or to make a difference somehow? I feel that there's a little gray zone there, and I don't think if that zone is comfortable for all of us. And
I agree with you. I have a meeting on March 2nd with them. And so we're actually all going to be in one place on March 2nd for that exact purpose.
Okay. That's
so,
great.
Yeah, just so that we can establish, like, what does that look like, and how do we create more unity and more differentiation, and also put more value on coaching. Like, how do we up the value of coaching? Because I absolutely hear that there's that we need more coaching, and there needs to be more payment for that. So we have a meeting on March 2nd with the key stakeholders for that purpose.
Cool. So the way I respond to this question, because I have clients that who ask me what's the difference between your services and Mind Valley, especially because I have to say hello to Vision each time I open YouTube. So he's really, really in there with the publicity, which is a thing. My answer is, Wildfeed, you can see Wildfeed as a Ferrari or Porsche, or I don't know. I'm Germany, so let's go with Porsche, okay? So what Mindvalley is selling cars, is selling Porsche. I sell Porsche with a training on the driving track, so I can really show you what the car is able to do. This was my best analogy, but in terms of business, I think it would be really, really nice to have some clearance there and some transparency. Maybe it's just me. I actually entered this coaching business because I want to establish connections with people I can trust and do transparent things. I'm currently in a corporation, and in a corporation there are politics, and I hate politics. So that's why I'm here, and I don't want that Wildfeed. I really hope that Wildfeed will be someday even better than Volkswagen as a concern, as a company, but built on transparency and on trust. So I would really appreciate if we could get some stuff in that direction. I really believe that Eric agrees with me on that. The way I see him, and so.
We really, really do agree with you on that, and that's why we have a meeting in 2-ish weeks. The 2nd of March, we're together.
I'm really curious about the outcome. Keep us updated, please.
Me too. Very much so. Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? All right. I think with that, we're actually done for the day, which means that we're done a little bit early. And we will have Kylie do a session for us and show us what she's doing and break it down so that you can see that. She is that. And thank you, John, very much. I agree. Thank you for voicing that. I have heard everybody's, concerns, and have hopefully we'll have some answers after the 2nd of March. So that'll be the beginning of many answers, I'm sure. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Oh, Ricardo, do you have a question? Go for it. Sorry, I didn't see your hand lower. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Now, just about the leads, just for me to understand deeper the process, when do you use the leads? Is a visitor subscribe to Wildfeed through your website, and then he sends you an email and asks, okay, I need this specific coach, or he goes, not about how you refer to the coach, but before that, the step before.
Sure. So before that, when they come in through, whether it be like a website or they opt in for one of the human hungers or something like that, we're just warming them up. We refer them over. There are times where we refer them over to the Find a Coach page. So there's a number of ways leads come in. One is they come in and they want to buy WildFit, and they already know they want to do it. And so then they purchase WildFit off the website, and then they're offered they could do it with a coach. That's one way. Another way is we just send them to the coach's page. There's that Find a Coach page on the website. And then from there, they contact you guys directly. So we don't have any, if they go to Find a Coach page and they go to look you up, this is why I've said, it's really important for you to have your own social presence and your own brand out there, because if they're like, oh, I want to work with a coach, who can I find as a coach? Is there one in my area? Is there one that I like the way they look, or I like the way they sound, or whatever that looks like? They can go to the Find a Coach page and find you. That's another way. The other way is sometimes people just write the help desk and they're looking for a coach, or they write the help desk and they have a certain number of problems, like they've got some health challenges, and then we refer them to a coach. If they have really specific health challenges, we'll often refer them to like someone who's worked already in that niche. We don't get a ton of that, but I believe there'll be a lot more of that coming up. And that's currently how they're being handled.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clear.
You're welcome. Go for it, Michelle.
Sorry, took me a bit to find the mute button. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate this. What I wanted to know also is, do we happen to have a outline of all the, you know, how we've got 2 lots of coaching calls going on now this year, and I'm loving that. I think that's really cool to have that secondary bit of training. Do we have a list of all the dates for the both sets of the coaching calls?
Yes, we do, and Kylie can make sure it's out to everybody. Have we already sent it, Kylie and Caitlin? No. Can you make sure that you're sending at least the next 3 months for everybody?
Yeah, so there's actually a PDF in the Facebook group and on the coaches back office with the calls that has all the dates on it for the coaches calls and as well as the support calls.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? All righty. Perfect. Thank you guys very much. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday and rest of February. It was nice to see you all. That was a very technical call. I'm used to like things that are more high energy, but it was really good to see you all, and I appreciate seeing all of you. Thanks, guys.